Mayor Holness, always good to see you.
It's great seeing you also. Thanks for having me.
So the last time we talked, you were running for the special election for Elsie Hastings' former seat, the late Elsie Hastings. And I believe you lost by just 5 votes, is that correct?
Yes.
That was 8 months ago. The primary is now coming, and once again you're taking the plunge. Why did you decide to do that?
Well, I believe the work needs to continue. When you look at this seat, it's only 2 of 28 in the state of Florida that will have black representation. And there's tremendous needs throughout the whole community, but particularly in the black community. When you look at the poverty rate for black folks in South Florida, in Miami-Dade County it's 24%. In Palm Beach it's 20%. In Broward County it's 15%. We fared a little better because we've done more to change the dynamics that exist. And I've been at the forefront in the leadership of that in Broward County, where we targeted our 6 zip codes with the highest level of poverty and put resources there. Build in a plan in conjunction with the Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance, one of our public-private partnership, to come up with a prosperity plan to help these communities that have been left behind, which unfortunately are mostly black and brown communities. So we must move the needle to change those dynamics. And in this district, the whites that live there are also poor. When you look at Belgrade's poverty rate is more than 40% for blacks, 24% for whites. We must change the system in order to lift people up and ensure that they live into their fullest potential and create real prosperity, not a gimmick for all.
We are going to talk about some of those issues, but we have to discuss what is happening, the back and forth between you and your opponent once again. You have been served in a lawsuit for, according to the report, making false allegations against the Congresswoman. What is your response to that?
So here's the deal. She's talking about a text in this lawsuit. I never saw the text, never authorized the text, never reviewed the text. My staff, my workers decided to send something out. I was in Palm Beach that day, and they wanted to get something out for some fundraising effort. So I never saw it, never authorized it. But the real issue is what the people are asking about. Where's the $1,000 that was promised? And the fact that there was a contract given for $20+ million that all of a sudden moves you from $86,000 a year to $6.5 million a year. This contract was intended to take care of folks who have COVID. The question is, how did that money move? Why was that contract given? And then, on top of that, you have $261,000 that was given to a PAC that is associated with known Republican operatives, such as Mark Goodrich, who got $155,000 out of that PAC. He's someone who supported McDougal, who was Trump's coordinator for his campaign. So now there's deflection. Well, I believe in this instance with this lawsuit. So, and here's the other thing on this lawsuit. Her name was never mentioned in the text, never referenced in the text.
But the text did come from your camp?
It did. It came from one of my aides. One of my aides' name.
I must say, I interviewed her last week. Yes. She has denied any of those and all of those allegations, and she says that she used her own funds for her campaign.
So here's the deal. You went from $86,000 a year. A company that in 2019 had a tax lien of $286,000 for payroll taxes, and later one for $241,000. Where did all that money come from all of a sudden?
Do you think this is all going to get resolved before the primary?
I don't think so.
Do you still believe that the Congresswoman won her seat on a promise that she made the constituents?
Absolutely. People believed so much that they were going to get this $1,000, that they were asking the clerks at the voting sites, I voted for Sheila, how do I get my $1,000? There's a lot of people out there still talking about, how do I get my $1,000? It was a gimmick, because even the bill that she claims she's put in is only for $1,000 for 1 year, according to what research we have done. Has no co-sponsor.
She says it's in the Ways and Means Committee.
Well, the one that we found, I think it's HR 770. It has no co-sponsors in the Senate, or none in the House. Okay, and when we read it, it's only for $1,000 for 1 year, not $1,000 a month if you make less than $75,000 a year, with no limitation. That was what was promised and sold to the people.
Okay, I want to talk about the issues that are facing the constituents. As you mentioned, some poverty in the district. Also, close to 50% of the constituents are on a fixed income. There is a housing crisis going on, not only in South Florida, but throughout the country, but especially here in South Florida. What are some of your ideas? What would you do to try to remedy the situation if you were to be elected as congressman for this district?
Well, let's look at the housing issue. I've been at the forefront of leading the effort in Broward County to push for affordable housing to be built. In Lauderhill, we build many affordable units, and also to create home ownership, because when you have home ownership, you stabilize your situation. The rent doesn't go up every month. Mortgage might rise a little bit, but it's stable. It also helps to alleviate poverty, and because it allows you to transfer some wealth to your future generations. What we must do is encourage local government and counties and the state to put more money in and use the federal government as a stimulus to do that, such as the Sadasky Fund. If we bring federal dollars down, then you release that money. At the local level, encourage mixed-use development where you have affordable and also market rate rents, and have a percentage set, as in some other communities where you have 15% of the new units that are being built for affordability, so you can have affordability built in. You can also use the choice voucher program that the federal government has. Increase the number. That hasn't been done in a long time. Designate some for those who are in need right now, but also designate a portion of it to build new units, because if you're a developer or if you're a county or city, you get easier financing if you have people already ready to occupy those units. So let's partner with the private sector. Let's partner with the cities, the counties, to get more units built now.
Do you think this is the most important issue facing the constituents of District 20 now?
I think the high poverty rate is as critical, but that lends to lack of home ownership and the high cost of living also. So what we must do is target those high poverty, high unemployment community. That's something we did in Broward County, where we target the 6 zip codes with the highest poverty rate, highest unemployment rate, and put resources in it. That's why we have a much lower poverty rate for blacks, because these are the communities where mostly black and brown people live, where you have high poverty, high unemployment, where we are 15% compared to 24% for Miami in terms of a poverty rate for black people. This is a district that needs someone who has the experience, who have delivered, not make promises, but have delivered. Have delivered strongly.
We're going to have to leave it there. Mayor Holness, thank you so much for joining us. The primary is August 23rd. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.